Oklahoma State Court of Criminal Sessions, the Honorable Judge Otis presiding.
All right, we are on the record outside the presence of the jury. Mr. Rickers, what's our status? Mr. Knippen, what's our status?
The state is also prepared to move forward, John.
All right, so our next witness is Dr. Is it Dallaire?
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor. Your Honor, would you like me to put that on record about a personal family issue, or is that
I
something?
mean, anything you want to put on the record right now is a good time to do it.
The reason my father's not in the courtroom is because of a personal family issue, and we're prepared to move forward today. Skylar and I have spoken. She is fully confident that I'm competent. We can move forward with the witnesses that we've discussed in chambers.
All right, so the plan is to do Dr. Dallaire, and then we are going to hear from Mr. Faine and begin the first interview, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Mr. Mullins, go get the jury, please. You may be seated. Good morning again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Was everybody able to follow my instructions and admonitions over the break? All right, we are going to resume with the testimony from the state today. You might notice that the elder, Mr. Rickers, is not with us this morning. He had a personal family matter that he had to attend to. You're not to attach any significance to that for the purposes of the decisions that you have to make in deciding this case. Mr. Knippen, who's our next witness?
Amy Dallaire, Your Honor.
Somebody getting this Dallaire?
Yes, somebody.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you will give in these proceedings to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
You may be seated. Just sit close and speak loudly to this time.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you. Ma'am, would you please state your name, spell your last name for the record?
Amy Dallaire, Dallaire.
Ma'am, where are you employed?
I'm a forensic scientist at the Miami Valley Regional Crime Laboratory.
How long have you been employed there?
17 years.
What do your duties consist of as a forensic scientist?
I perform serology and DNA analysis on samples.
Could you talk to the jury a little bit about your education, training, and experience that allows you to do that?
I have a Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences from Wright State University. I also did a year of in-house training when I was first hired at the laboratory, and I go on yearly trainings to keep up to date on new methods.
And ma'am, do you have a curriculum vitae detailing your experience?
Yes, I do.
We're going to show you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit number 92. You can take a look at that. Tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, I do.
What is that in State's Exhibit 92, please?
This is what I call just my CV. It just gives me gives my education background, my work experience, and all the classes that I've been to.
And other than the exhibit sticker that's been placed on that, have there been any alterations or deletions made to that?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. Could you explain to the jury what is serology? When we use that term, what does that mean?
Serology is just the identification of different types of body fluids.
And what is DNA?
DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. It is found in the nucleus of cells. And what makes it useful for forensics, it's unique to each individual except for identical twins.
And have you previously testified in courts regarding serology and DNA analysis?
Yes, I have.
Approximately how many times?
Probably roughly 80 times.
And in what different counties, ma'am?
I've done Montgomery County, Miami County, Preble County, Shelby County, Warren County, Butler County, and the city of Dayton.
Were you qualified as an expert during those times in which you testified, ma'am?
Yes, I was.
And specifically as an expert in the field of serology and DNA analysis?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would offer Ms. Dallaire as an expert in the field of serology and DNA analysis.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
May I proceed?
Ms. Dallaire, in this case, State of Ohio versus Brooke Richardson, were you requested to do any testing regarding specific items that had been sent to the Miami Valley Regional Crime Lab?
Yes, I was.
And specifically, were you asked to perform DNA analysis on hairs collected from the skeletal remains recovered at 104 Eagle Ridge Drive in Carlisle and compare them to DNA swabs collected from both Brooke Richardson and Trey Johnson?
Yes, I was.
I want to show you first what's been marked for identification purposes as States Exhibit 88 and States Exhibit 91. If you could take a look at those and tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, this would be standards from individuals, and I recognize it has a laboratory barcode and also recognize the markings on the packaging.
And specifically first with States Exhibit number 88, what is that in States Exhibit 88?
This would be a standard from Brooke Richardson.
And then with respect to States Exhibit number 91, what are we looking at there, please?
This is a standard from Trey Johnson.
And again, you recognize both of those items?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Could you explain to the jury the process in which you conduct your analysis?
The DNA process starts with the extraction of the DNA out of the nucleus of the cell. We then quantitate the DNA, which just tells me how much DNA that I have in my sample. I then amplify the DNA, which is kind of like a Xerox copy machine of the different areas of the DNA that we're looking at. And then we put it through our capillary electrophoresis machine, gather our data. And once we have our data and run it through our computer programs, I have my complete DNA profile. And when I look at my complete DNA profile, all I'm looking at is pairs of numbers and making comparisons between those profiles.
Okay. And in the process of conducting your analysis, are you able to make any determinations regarding the sex of the baby from the hairs that were recovered to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty?
Yes, I was.
And what is that opinion, ma'am?
The baby was female.
Were you also able to draw any conclusions regarding the biological mother and the biological father of the baby?
Yes, I was.
And what is that?
Brooke Richardson cannot be excluded as a possible biological mother of the child, and Trey Johnson cannot be excluded as a possible biological father of the child.
And when you say they cannot be excluded, can you explain to the jury what exactly does that mean?
Basically, when I'm looking at my DNA, I'm looking at the profile from the child, then I look at the profile from the mother. And when you get your DNA, you get one copy from your mom and one copy from your dad. So I'm looking at the child's profile, and I look at the mother's. I see she's able to actually give a copy of her DNA to each area of the DNA that I'm looking at to see if she is a possible biological mother. And if I see that all the way across the board, I can say comfortably that she cannot be excluded as a possible biological mother of that child. Same thing for the father. Look at the profile of the child, look at the father's profile, and do the exact same thing the whole way across the profile. And if I see they contributed at every area, I can say they cannot be excluded as a possible biological father also.
And did you see that each one of them, Trey Johnson and Brooke Richardson, contributed at each one of those spots that you were looking at?
Correct. That's why they cannot be excluded.
And given that information, could anyone else be the biological mother or the biological father of the baby?
With looking at my DNA profiles, I can see who contributed what. Probably unless they have like an identical twin, they cannot be excluded as a possible biological parents of the child.
And unless there is an identical twin, no one else could be the biological parent of that child?
Right.
Okay. In addition to DNA testing regarding the biological parents, were you also requested to analyze a swab that was collected from the floor under the bed of the defendant's bedroom?
Yes.
And I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit number 89. You can take a look at that and tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, it has our laboratory barcode and also recognize the markings on the packaging.
And specifically, what is that in State's Exhibit number 89, please?
It is tagged as being a DNA swab of floor of suspects under bed.
Okay. And did you conduct serological analysis of that swab that was contained in State's Exhibit number 89?
Yes, I did.
And what did that reveal, if anything?
That swab did indicate the presence of blood.
Did you attempt to perform DNA analysis on the swab from under the suspect's bed?
Yes, I did.
And are you able to form any opinions regarding the analysis that you performed?
Yes, I was.
And are those opinions to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty?
Yes.
And what are those opinions, ma'am?
From this swab, I did perform DNA analysis, and I got a partial mixed profile. And out of that profile, I was actually to be able to pull out a major component that matches Brooke Richardson to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty.
Okay. Were there any other components that you noticed in the swab?
There also was a minor component, but I can make no determinations regarding that part of the DNA.
Okay. So is it fair to say that the DNA of the baby that you analyzed in this case can't be included or excluded as a possible contributor of that minor component?
I can make no determinations regarding the minor component at all, so I can't say who is or who is not in that profile.
But you are picking up a different component than Brooke Richardson.
Right, there's someone else, but I can't say who it is, though.
Okay. And that's because there's just not enough material available or enough DNA available?
Just not enough DNA available, just very minimal minor components, so I make no determinations regarding it.
Okay. Regarding what you know about the childbirth process, would you expect to find DNA of the baby, say on a floor, for example, if a mother had just given birth?
I mean, typically, I've had 3 kids, so when you have a child, also there's a lot of, fluids and bodily fluids coming out of you. Typically, most of those fluids should be from the mother and not the child. So typically, no, I would not expect to find the baby's DNA kind of floating around in with the mom.
Is that because it's covered in all of the mom's fluids?
Right, because it has its own, the baby's, a person itself, and then the mom has her own fluids, so they really should not mix unless probably maybe something happened.
Mr. Dallaire, I'm confused. Are you making this determination as an expert based upon your experience and your training, or your knowledge from being a mom?
My knowledge from being a mom.
Okay.
Ms. Dallaire, did you have the opportunity to author reports with respect to both pieces of information that you testified to today, one with respect to the biological parents of the child that was in the skeletal remains, and then 2 with respect to the swab that was collected underneath the suspect's bed?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification purposes as States Exhibit 93 and States Exhibit 94. You take a look at those and tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yes, these are copies of the 2 reports I generated for this case.
Okay. I have 1 moment, Your Honor.
You may.
Other than the exhibit stickers that have been placed on those reports, have there been any alterations or deletions made to them?
No.
Further questions?
Proceed.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just want to make sure a few things are clear, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but DNA can be found in saliva, correct?
Yes, I can.
Mucous membranes, if someone blows their nose and drops a tissue on the ground.
Yes, we've gotten DNA from those profiles, yes.
Semen.
Yes.
And you cannot date when DNA first existed on the sample, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The prosecutor talked to you about your report, and I'm going to display it for everyone. And I'm referring to State's Exhibit number 94. Can you see that on your screen, Doctor? No.
Yeah, I can see it right here, yeah.
Okay. So, just so everyone knows what we're referring to here, there was a submission to you. Those submission number 5 is they gave you carpet and padding from a hallway, correct?
Correct.
And submission number 7, I'm going to jump down a minute, they gave you carpet and padding outside of a bathroom, correct?
Correct.
Now, yesterday we had a sheriff's deputy in here, and he was holding up padding to the jury and a piece of carpet. He was holding up a piece of carpet for the jury. Did they give you a piece of carpet for submission number 6, which was from under Skylar's bed?
It says tagged as containing carpet padding.
Not carpet.
Correct. It is tagged as that because we did not actually open that item. So we just say whatever it says tagged as, we label that in our report.
And you have no control over what's sent to you, correct?
Correct. We just accept what the agency gives us.
And in this case, just so we're clear, the agency gave you 3 carpet padding samples,
Yes.
but only 2 carpet samples.
It appears so according to their labeling.
Okay. And the carpet sample that they did not give you was for under Skylar's bed.
According to our labeling, is this carpet padding.
Okay. Talking about the submissions that the agency gives you. In this case, the agency is the Warren County Sheriff's Office, correct?
Yes, it is.
They could call you and say, hey, we'd really appreciate it if you did further testing for us on any of these samples, correct?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The submitting agency could call you and ask you to do further testing on any sample that you were given, correct?
Yes, they can.
Because in this case, you did not test submission 5, 6, or 7, correct?
That's correct.
And that's because you had a swab that corresponded with those submissions where you found Skylar's DNA.
That's correct.
We heard yesterday about Blue Star. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, it's a type of luminol.
And what is luminol?
Luminol is used as a screening tool at crime scenes to spray on different areas to see if it fluoresces, which could indicate blood may be present at those spots.
And it is the last resort for law enforcement, correct?
Typically with luminol, if you're going to like a cleaned up crime scene, the only thing with luminol, it can react with other substances and it could potentially dilute out what little DNA is there.
And you've seen when luminol is used, garage floors light up.
Yes, I've seen that when I've done it, yes.
Bathroom floors light up.
Yes, they potentially can if there's cleaners on them, yes.
In fact, luminol, if cleaners are used, luminol lights up like a Christmas tree from a cleaner, not necessarily blood, right?
Correct, it can light up from other things besides blood. Cleaners are a big one.
Is it odd to you that someone would clean their bathroom floor with a cleaner?
No.
Odd to you for someone to clean their carpet if there's a stain on it?
No.
Were you given Jackson Richardson's profile for any of this DNA?
No, I was not.
Kim Richardson or Scott Richardson?
No, I was not.
On this, I'm going to refer to you to State's Exhibit number 93. Prosecutor talked to you about this exhibit. This was your second report on matching who the father of the child was, right?
Correct.
And I don't believe they mentioned to you or had you talk about submission number 3 from DJ Chambers.
Correct.
This report was submitted to the prosecutor's office on September 21st, 2017. Is that correct?
That's when it was released from our agency. I'm not sure exactly the date they got it.
And you didn't cut these swabs to open them, I don't think, until August 14th. Is that right?
Per my notes, yes.
If a lead detective or the submitting agency said, hey, you know what, we know who the father is, we can save you the time or the money, just test this one to just confirm that the father is in fact Trey Johnson. You don't have to test DJ Chambers. They could have done that, correct?
They can always call us if they have additional information that can help us or if they need something tested. They can always call us and discuss that with us.
And sometimes you get submissions and later you're told, hey, you don't need to test those submissions.
Yes, that's happened.
Did you know that DJ Chambers is one of the only black students at Carlisle schools?
No, I don't have that information.
Did you know that the lead detective and the prosecutor's office were told who the father was well in advance of your testing these swabs?
Objection. Overruled. Answer if you can.
Typically, I don't get that kind of information up front.
Your office does significant amount of touch DNA testing, is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to ladies and gentlemen of the jury what touch DNA is?
Touch DNA has become a large part of our casework, and typically when we talk about touch cases, like if someone breaks into like a business or your home, we'll go around and swab those areas that they touched and try to find any foreign DNA on those items to try to put it in the database to get a hit or potentially match it back to a suspect. So things like that, or someone like discards property, like be like a baggie or clothing, we can also swab those items and find out who they belong to.
Is it accurate?
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Is touch DNA an accepted procedure in your field?
Oh yes, it's just normal. We don't do anything different with the DNA. It's just a different type of sample.
And you can trust the results from it?
Yes, we have many things in place to make sure our process runs the way it's supposed to.
And in fact, touch DNA now is about 70% of your office's work.
Yes, it is.
Back in 2017, it was also a majority of your office's work.
Yes, it is.
We've seen pictures of lighter fluid, bleach, Bic lighters. Do you ever do any touch DNA, in this case, on any objects that were submitted to you by the Warren County Sheriff's Office?
Not on the items that were given to me. I did not do any touch DNA on those items, no.
May I have 1 minute, Your Honor? Pictures of Blue Star yesterday. There was no blood found on the bathroom wall, is that correct?
Yes, that sample was negative.
Negative, no blood. No blood on the bathroom door, correct?
Actually, we just had samples from the toilet and the floor in the bathroom.
They didn't even give you a swab from
We
a
had a
door.
swab from a west wall, but I'm not sure where that was taken from.
Okay. And so, from what you've been given, which you cannot control what you're given, correct?
Correct.
It is either negative or you didn't have a test for the bathroom wall and the bathroom door, correct?
We just had from the west wall was negative for the presence of blood.
And nothing for the door.
I believe I do not have a sample from the door.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else for this witness?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ritgers was asking you about what was submitted and the fact he was suggesting that the carpet wasn't submitted with the padding for the carpet that was collected under the bed. Do you remember that questioning?
Yes.
I want to show you, just 1 second. What's been marked for identification purposes is State's Exhibit 137. You can take a look at that and tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
Yeah, it's a copy of one of our submission sheets that an agency fills out to give to the laboratory.
And is that one of the submission sheets for this case in Brooke Richardson?
Yes, it has a laboratory barcode on it.
And if I could have that, please. When you look at this submission sheet, under the description list of evidence, the second one down, would you agree with me that that indicates that both the carpet and the padding were submitted to the crime lab for their review?
It looks so, yes.
Okay. And again, you didn't do any testing of that carpet, but you also already had a swab that was collected at the scene that was taken from that carpet. Is that right?
Correct, I did the swab from under the bed, yes.
Okay. And you tested that swab?
Yes.
Okay. Having one moment, Your Honor.
I'm going to display State's Exhibit 94 one more time. In your report, it's clearly labeled that the only submission that you have for number 6 is carpet padding, not carpet, correct?
Right, we just put one brown paper bag tagged as containing carpet padding, but we never did open that item as evidence to actually see what was inside of it, because we did not examine it.
And if the prosecutor's office or the lead detective in the case said, hey, we really have to know who the minor component DNA is, they could call you and say, test the same area. Could you please test submission number 6?
Correct, they can always call and have us do additional testing.
And they did not ask you to test, nor did you ever test submission number 6.
That's correct.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Laird. Counsel, approach, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another break. I know it seems like you're spending most of the day in the jury room today. I apologize for that, but we have some technical issues that we have to get resolved before we bring you back. So let's plan on about a 15-minute break. We'll be back here at 5 after 11. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, remember what I have previously told you. Don't begin to think about how you're going to decide this case or talk about the case amongst yourselves or do any research or look at any media regarding the case. All right. Hold on. All right, we are on the record outside the presence of the jury. Our next witness is going to be Mr. Faine, and then we are going to play the first part of the video statement, the whole video statement number 1. Is that right?
The whole video statement of the first interview, yes.
Okay, which is 2 hours and how long?
9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Okay. All right, so we have 2 different transcripts. Tell me what it is that you expect that I'm going to tell the jury regarding these transcripts.
Judge, the first transcript relates to the first 4 minutes of the audio where...
So this is the little one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And just for reference for everyone, so when she was initially interviewed in the interview room, the audio was being picked up by the speaker in the interview room. Lieutenant Faine also had a handheld recorder that he turned on 4 minutes into the interview where the audio was much clearer. So by agreement of the parties, it was sent to Ohio Organized Crime for the purpose of 4 minutes in, the audio was switched over to the handheld when that's turned on, and the audio became much more clear. When Ms. Schlimm was requested to do the transcripts, she first did that transcript of the first 4 minutes from the previous audio, and then she picked it up where the handheld recording picked up. So that's why there's 2 transcripts. The one is just for the first 4 minutes, and I think it's 16 seconds, but I'm not sure about that. And then it transitions over, and you'll see on the video, it says audio transition on top when it goes to the handheld recorder.
So it makes sense then when you see the audio transition to hit the pause button, and I will tell the jurors that they can switch from transcript number 1 to transcript number 2.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Rickers, anything from the defense on that issue?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this has an exhibit sticker number 20 on it, but I'm going to tell the jury that this is not an exhibit and they will not have it with them.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay?
You mean not have it with them back in the jury room for...
Right.
Okay.
The instruction that I'm going to give them is, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to view an audio-video recording containing statements made by the defendant. You have also been provided transcripts of this statement to help you follow along. The audio and video are the evidence. The transcript is not. If you find a difference between the transcript and the recording, it is the recording that controls. If If you do not find that the transcript assists you in reviewing the recording, you do not have to use it. Do not make notes on the transcript. You will not have it with you in the jury room, and it is not an exhibit.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? All right, are we ready for the jury?
No, Your Honor. We appear to be short one transcript. I'm asking my office to run one down immediately. I apologize.
Long transcript, short transcript, or both?
Definitely the long one. Can you come
Okay,
please,
here,
real
I will give you mine because I have it electronically and I can follow along.
They won't need it until.
quick? She's asking if you've seen
That's what you
it.
will.
Need extra copies immediately.
Oh.
Okay, go get our jury, Mr. Mullins. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Mr. Knippen, call your next witness.
State's call Lieutenant Faine, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Okay.
Thank you. Sir, would you please state your name, spell your last name for the record?
John Faine, spelling of the last name is Faine.
And sir, are you currently retired?
I am.
And where were you employed back in the summer of 2017?
I was employed at the Warren County Sheriff's Office at that time.
And in what capacity were you employed there?
At that current time, my rank was lieutenant, but my current assignment was the Criminal Investigative Sections Commander, or that's our detective unit. We call it Criminal Investigation Section, or CIS. So at that time, I was the lieutenant in CIS.
Okay, and what did your duties consist of as lieutenant of CIS?
For the most part, the duties in that position are just supervising the unit. There are several detectives in there. Then I also have a sergeant who worked with me as a first-line supervisor. But then in addition to just overseeing the day-to-day duties, I would also work alongside the detectives in there whenever they needed help, assistance.
Okay. I want to direct your attention to July 14th of 2017. Did you have the opportunity to become involved in an investigation regarding possible skeletal remains buried in the ground at 104 Eagle Ridge Drive in Carlisle, Ohio?
Yes, I did.
And how did you become involved, sir?
On that day, I got a call in my office from Chief Deputy Barry Riley at the sheriff's office, and I went down to his office, and he told me that he had received a call from the police chief in Carlisle, basically saying that there was a complaint of possible skeletal remains in a residence there in the village of Carlisle, and he was hoping the sheriff's office would assist with it. So Chief Deputy Riley asked me if I could have a detective go up there to assist and do whatever we could do to help.
What did you do as a result of obtaining that information from Chief Deputy Riley?
Well, initially the first thing I did was try to find a detective that was available. This was July 14th, so it's during the summer months. So we have a lot of people taking family vacations and just other things that are going on with the county this size. And there was no one else available except a new detective, Detective Abshire, who had just been assigned to the unit. He was the only one that was available, so myself and Detective Abshire went to Carlisle.
And where specifically did you go?
We went to the police department at first.
And what information did you obtain there, if any?
There, again, it was the same brief information. They had a copy of their incident report just saying that the Carlisle Police Department had been contacted by an OBGYN office, that there was a report that possibly someone had delivered a stillborn baby and buried the skeletal remains in the backyard of the 104 Eagle Ridge.
What did you do with that information that you received there at the Carlisle Police Department?
After seeing that information, Katie Gee was an officer, female officer at Carlisle Police Department at that time, and myself, Detective Abshire, and Officer Gee responded out to the residents at Eagle Ridge.
Okay, and that's 104 Eagle Ridge Drive in Carlisle, Warren County, Ohio?
Yes, sir.
What happened when you responded to the residents, sir?
When we first got to the residence, there was no one there. We knocked on the door, no one was home. But almost simultaneously with that, Mr. Richardson pulled into the driveway in his truck.
Okay. Is that Scott Richardson?
Yes.
What conversation did you have with him?
Just told him why we were there, that we had information and that we needed to talk to his daughter about it, and if he knew where she was.
Did you tell him at that time that you were there regarding possible skeletal remains, or you just told him that you wanted to speak with his daughter?
I did not. I told him that there's an investigation we were doing. We had a complaint, and based on the knowledge, it had said that it was Skylar that had been to the OBGYN clinic. So I told him that she would be the one that could either corroborate this information or refute this information. Honestly, when I first got that report, a lot of times we get a lot of reports that aren't necessarily true once we see them all the way out and actually get investigating them. So at that time, I still didn't know what was true, what was not. So, but I knew that Skylar was the one we needed to talk to, and I told her father that she was the one we would need to speak to.
Did her father then make efforts to contact her?
Yes, he did. He was very courteous, and he said he maybe said she was at her grandma's, but wherever he said she was, he said it was just really close and she could be here in just a matter of a few minutes, and that he would, and he subsequently did contact her.
Okay. And then was he able to get Skylar to return to the home?
He was, and just as Mr. Richardson had said, it was only a few minutes, and she then pulled up in the driveway.
What happened when she got there?
We introduced ourselves to Skylar and told her that we were doing an investigation and needed to speak with her, and we would like to do it at the Carlisle Police Department. And we told her if she wanted to, she would be able to ride with her father over to the police department, and all of us went over there, not together. We were in separate cars, and then Skylar rode with her father to the Carlisle Police Department.
So she agreed to go with you to the Carlisle Police Department to be interviewed?
She did, yes.
Did she ask you at all what this was concerning?
I think she asked what it was about, but I told her that we would, I didn't want to speak until we were at the police department, and we have a policy, we audio and videotape our interviews whenever possible. I mean, it's got to be an extreme condition when we don't. We always try to do that. And just based on the nature of what this allegation was, if it didn't actually turn out to be true, we wanted to make sure everything was audio and video recorded.
Did everyone then respond to the Carlisle Police Department?
Yes.
What happened when you got there, sir?
When we got there to the Carlisle Police Department, Officer Gee and myself conducted an interview with Skylar.
Okay. And was that in one of the interview rooms there at the Carlisle Police Department?
Yes, it was.
Are you aware, is that interview room audio and video recorded?
It is, yes, to my knowledge, yes.
And then, sir, did you also have your own handheld recorder as well?
I did.
And at some point during the interview, you utilize and turn on that handheld recorder, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And you indicated that you and Officer Gee then proceeded to interview Ms. Richardson.
Yes.
Prior to interviewing her, did you have an opportunity to advise her of her constitutional rights?
Yes, I did.
And how do you do that, sir?
To do that, it's kind of two-part because we're doing it visibly and also orally. We actually have a sheet that we utilize at the sheriff's office that we read right off of that sheet. And also, we will have the person at the end, whoever we're interviewing, there's a paragraph that they read just to also make sure that they're able to fluently read and communicate the English language, just so there could be no discrepancy of them possibly not understanding. We want to make sure that they fully understand their rights, and all the details, and we'll actually each write, then we'll have them initial, whereas the right to remain silent, do you understand that one? And if you do, put your initials. Right to have an attorney and to have an attorney present. And a big one also, the right to stop the questioning at any time if you wish to stop the questioning. So we do that, and we also do that while the each time with the interview, and they sign as well at the end, the full signature.
Okay. I'm going to hand you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 117. You can take a look at that and tell me whether you recognize what you're looking at.
I do, yes. This is it is my handwriting and also Skylar's handwriting, and this is the form that we use, yes.
Okay. And when you go through this form with Skylar, is that all audio and video recorded as well?
Yes.
Okay. Other than the exhibit sticker placed on this form, is it a fair and accurate copy of the form that you used and had Ms. Richardson sign?
Yes.
And then after she completes this form, you then begin to ask her questions regarding your investigation. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And again, that's all audio and video recorded.
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request permission to place State's Exhibit 119 by agreement of the parties, and we request to pass out the transcripts to the juror members.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going to happen next is that you are going to view an audio-video recording of some of the statements of the defendant. You're also going to be provided with a transcript of this recording to help you follow along. The audio and video that you're going to see is the evidence. The transcript is not the evidence. So if you find that there is a difference between the transcript and the recording, then the recording is what controls. If you find that having this transcript in front of you does not help you in evaluating the evidence, you do not have to follow along and you do not have to read along. So, and I want to emphasize this, that what you are going to see and what you are going to hear is the evidence. Now, the transcript that you're going to have, don't make notes on it because it's not going to be an exhibit. There's an exhibit sticker on it, but trust me, you are not going to get this exhibit back, so do not make notes on what you have. If you find that it helps you, then follow along with it. If you find that it does not help you, you can just turn it face down and watch what it is that you're going to see. You're actually going to have two transcripts because of what Mr. Faine just testified regarding the audio recording and the way the transcript is. The first transcript is going to be like the first 4 minutes, and then the other transcript is going to be the bulk of it. So if you are going to follow along with it, we'll have the first smaller transcript. Mr. Knippen or his team will be kind enough to pause it at the time where it transitions from one to another so that you can switch over. You can just set it on the floor or whatever you want to do. And then if you want to follow along with the transcript, you can. So Mr. Knippen, Ms. Kraft, if you want to go ahead, and Mr. Mullins, if you want to help them, just distribute it, whatever's the most efficient way to make sure everybody has one, big and little. Right? You have a big one and a little one? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we have a couple of people who are not ready. All right, are the copies all distributed?
I believe so, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Knippen, you may proceed.
Thank you.
You can have a seat right there. On the other side, and we'll come in just a couple minutes, okay?
I know you're so scared, but just, I'm just waiting because I guess your mom just got home and she wants to come.
Oh, no, you just tell me what's
I'm sorry?
Can you just tell me what's happening, please?
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like maybe nothing has happened. So that's what I'm going to wait for Katie to come in here. Maybe nothing has happened, okay? So that's what, and we don't know until we talk to you, okay? You're the one that's going to be able to help us with this, okay? Are you going to UC, Faine? Are you going to go to UC? The only reason I ask is earlier, Katie said something about she thought you might be or saw it on the Facebook page or something. So did you just graduate, so you'll be a freshman?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Am I going to get arrested?
What?
Am I going to get arrested?
I don't think so, no. I mean, you may tell me something that I can't say no to that in case you tell me all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I did this, but no, that's not our plan. We're trying to find out. We were given some information. We want to talk to you. You're a person that could say whether it was, you think it was true or not. So if you witnessed or saw this or not.
Okay,
So,
yep. Okay.
So once, so that's what we're going to do. And I wish I could help you because I know I can say so many times, just don't be scared, don't be scared. But I know you're still nervous. You're 18 years old. When's your birthday, like March?
Yeah.
So you just turned 18 years old. I have daughters that are 27 and 25, so they were your age at one time, so I've done this kind of stuff as a parent, living it in real life, and then I've been at the sheriff's office for 20 years, so I've done it, this way too. So I know, and I've been sitting there with my daughter or daughters while they were being talked about stuff. So let me tell you what's going to happen is Katie and I were going to talk to you and just ask you what you know, if anything about this, okay? If you know anything about this information that we were given. And then if you know anything more than what we were told that can help us, that either something did happen or something didn't happen, okay? And then we'll see, because really we don't know what's going on until we talk to you, okay? This could be something where we're going to say, okay, thank you, and we're out of here in 5 minutes. So literally it could be 5 minutes, okay? Do you have any questions for us? Okay. I know it probably feels worse because you're in this room and everything, and there's 2 cops in here and everything, but we are, Katie and I, we are regular people. I am John, she's Katie. So, we've both been doing this a long time. We're not here to lie to you. We're not trying to trick. There's no tricks. There's nothing like that, okay? I'm just hoping, because I know you're really nervous, that we can try to make you relax a little bit.
Do you want a glass of water? Before we get started?
Do you have to go to the bathroom or anything like that?
Okay, let me know if you decide you want one, okay?
Okay. Whenever we do interviews at my office, at the sheriff's office, I'm not sure if it's the same for Katie's too, but we always have to record them. So this recorder will be going. And
we're now transitioning to the larger transcript, right?
Yes.
All right, you may proceed.
And then I've got a sheet that I've got to fill out with, you know how you hear people talk about your right to remain silent and that sort of stuff? We have to go over that since when we're doing an interview with someone, okay? It doesn't mean you're charged with a crime, obviously, or you asked about being arrested, all that, but it's something we have to do before we ask even a witness if it's something serious, okay? Okay. Your first name is Brooke. Is there an E or?
E.
But you go by Skylar?
Yeah.
And what's your last name?
Richardson.
Richardson? Okay. You probably have, or we don't have that in here anymore, do we?
I can grab it.
No, I can get. What's your social security number?
I don't
Or do you know?
actually know.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. A lot of people don't. One day you'll know that. You'll know that like the back of your hand. So.
Are you in college? I'm going to start in the fall. You'll learn your Social Security number, especially in college.
And she did say that she is going to go to UC.
Oh, cool.
What's
your major in? Psychology. Oh, nice.
Oh, really? What do you want to do with that?
Maybe like developmental psychology, working with kids. Maybe.
Oh, that's cool. 7/14/2017. I'll show the time is about 1:30. This is Lieutenant John Faine with the Warren County Sheriff's Office. I'm also here with Officer Katie.
Yeah, I'm still good.
Katie Gee with Carlisle Police Department, and we're sitting here with Brooke, Skylar Richardson. She goes by Skylar. And like I said, the time is about 13:30. And before we talk to you, this is the sheet I was talking about, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over these things with you, and if you understand them, I'm just going to have you write your initials on the first line right there, okay? The first one says you have the right to remain silent. Second one says anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you so wish. And and then you can decide to anytime to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Okay. And then can you read this part out loud for me? That last paragraph.
I have read this statement of my rights, and I fully understand what my rights are. I do not want a lawyer at this time, and am willing to speak with law enforcement officers. I understand and know what I am doing. No promises of any kind, hope of reward, favors, or threats have been made to me. Upon being advised of my constitutional rights, I wish to make the following verbal and/or written statement without my lawyer being present. I declare that I knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waive my constitutional rights.
And are you under the influence of anything right now, any alcohol or any drugs or anything like that?
No.
Okay, that's part like where it says like knowingly, intelligently, and all that stuff. So if you're okay, then just sign right there.
What's the
7/14. Tomorrow's 7/15. I'll be 49 tomorrow. Gosh, I'm old. I am officially old. That's almost 50.
I know. I've known you almost 20 years.
I know, but I stay young. I act like a child. Okay, Skylar. This is kind of different because a lot of times when we do an interview like this, there's a lot to talk about and get into, but this is more of a simple thing. It might be hard for you to talk about. You might feel embarrassed and everything, but really with this one, there's no way other than just to come out and say, okay, we got a call. The reason we're here today, we got a call from the doctor's office. Okay. So are you familiar with what doctor's office with the OBGYN?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just share with you the information, that they gave us. I'm going to say these dates, but I can't say for sure these are the exact dates, but they're the dates that they gave us, okay? So we're just going off the information they gave us. And according to them, on April 26th, you went to a doctor's appointment. Does that sound right? Okay. And also according to them, that day you found out you were pregnant. Okay, is that true? Okay. And do you tell me about, how did you end up making that appointment? I mean, you're 18 by then because your birthday was March, right? You turned 18 in March. Okay. How did you make that doctor's? Or did you just want to go to the doctor? Did you want to get on birth control?
Yeah,
What was
on birth control.
Okay. Did you make an appointment yourself, or did you talk to your mom?
My mom helped me make this.
Okay, your mom helped you make it. Did she go with you? She did go with you. Okay, did she find out that day that you were pregnant?
No, I didn't tell either of my parents.
She didn't. And since you were 18, the medical staff wasn't required to tell her. And if I got information right from the doctors, they maybe did an ultrasound?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
And did they tell you how far pregnant you were, how many weeks?
I'll be completely honest, I didn't listen.
Okay.
I didn't hear. I don't
You didn't
know
hear,
how many weeks I was.
Okay. Could they have told you 32 weeks, or maybe they could?
Maybe. I know I was far along.
And you was probably, you were far along. Was it a shock to you?
It was kind of.
Okay, because
my parents,
reason I asked that is because they said you didn't know you were pregnant, even though you're that far along. You didn't know. Did you have some suspicion? Or?
Yeah, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to let myself know.
Understand. I understand that you're 18. I'm actually a grandfather because my oldest daughter she got pregnant when she was young, and I remember she was so scared and so nervous, and especially to tell me, I think was her biggest fear, because she just thought, I don't know, just had all the thoughts that a young girl is going to have, when that's not really what you're planning. You're just planning on being a freshman at UC. I mean, you know that for sure, and you're pregnant. So, again, I can understand all that, that fear and just the shock and everything. So how did you know you might be, or what made you think you might be?
I was really big. I was pretty big.
Okay, you were getting about it. Could you feel your baby?
A little, yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, at 30, let's say it was 32 weeks, they're
you could feel it.
Pretty active, right? I mean, obviously I didn't feel it, but I've seen, and my wife had seen, and you probably, I'm going to guess, hadn't had a period in several months.
But before then, I was a little irregular with my periods, so I tried to think that maybe it was normal.
I think maybe that was it until you started. Well, and then when you could feel, so when you, let me go back a little bit now. when you were making the appointment, even though your mom didn't know this, were you kind of wanting to find out if you were pregnant or confirm if you were?
Yeah, I had a feeling that would be what they told me and stuff. I was lost, and my parents, they're going to be so mad at me.
Do me a favor, because I'll set this up, but if you can, and just try to speak a little bit louder, okay, just so I make sure we can hear you. So you find out they confirm that you are pregnant. What goes through your mind?
My parents are going to kill me. I didn't want to tell them. I didn't want to tell them at all. I still don't really want to tell them, but now they're going to know.
Okay.
They'll probably be very disappointed in me.
Okay, that sounds kind of like what my daughter said. The same thing went through her mind and stuff. I mean, I can see all that, especially you're 18 years old and everything. And so what do they do at the doctor's office? What do they tell you? I mean, they tell you you're pregnant, but do they want to talk to your mom or anything, or do they want you to tell your mom?
I think they wanted me to tell my mom, but I did not want to tell her.
Uh-huh. You didn't want to, and did you tell them that was your wish? You don't want them to tell? And you were 18, so they had to go by, it's not like you were a minor or anything. You're an adult now. Did you say anything to them about it, or ask them about any options or anything you could do or what you should do?
I didn't really want to have my baby, but I couldn't get rid of it. I didn't really know what I should do. I never called the place back or anything to see what
Which place, the doctor?
The doctor. I never called them back to make another appointment.
Okay.
But they wanted me to, but I didn't because I was scared.
Okay. I understand that too. Let's jump ahead to this week, to Wednesday. Was it Wednesday?
Yes.
You went back to that doctor's office?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was the purpose of that visit?
To check back up on my birth control.
Uh-huh.
And I told her what had happened.
Okay, you told them what happened. Okay, and what did you tell them happened?
That I had to have the baby, and it wasn't alive.
Okay.
I didn't kill the doe.
Oh, we're not saying anything like that. That's not why you're here today. We're not saying that. Did you say her? Okay, it was a girl. So what did you tell them? So you told them you had to have the baby and she wasn't alive. Did you know what date that it happened on?
May 7th.
It was for sure. Okay, because that's the date they told us, but I didn't. I just want to make sure the information they gave us was the same. Okay. And I'm sure you remember it for sure because it was a horrible day. I'm just going to assume it was a horrible day. So now, and this is probably hard, but again, we're just trying to get this, and it kind of gives you a chance also to.
Am I in trouble?
What's that?
Am I in trouble?
No, we're just trying to figure out, Skylar, what the whole reason we're here today is just try to figure out, just like on May 7th, what happened. If are you okay, and what the information we got from the doctor. So let's go to May 7th that day, and tell us about, and try to make sure we can hear you on here, but tell us about what happened. Kind of walk us through exactly what happened, what you felt or where you were, and just kind of tell us what happened.
I had the baby, and
Okay, hold on a second. When you say you had the baby, where were you?
I was in my bathroom.
You were in your bathroom? Okay, were you on the toilet or in the bathtub or on the floor?
Toilet.
Were you seated on the toilet?
Yeah, and that's when I had the baby.
Okay, how did you know you were going to have her? Did you have
I could feel it, and something needed to come out. I could feel it.
So you felt that feeling?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the term when people say their water broke?
Yeah, I don't
But
know
you didn't
I don't
feel
know.
that. Well, and I think you'd probably know if
it just came out when I pushed, and it was breathing. It didn't make any noises.
Okay. So you're seated on the toilet, and I guess, and I'm just trying to visualize. So do you have your hands? Are you going to try to catch her?
I'm trying. She's breathing.
Okay, so when I assume because you were able to deliver there by yourself, she wasn't breached or anything else, so she came out head first. Is that right?
I don't know what happened. She just kind of came out, and I tried.
Okay, no, and I understand. When she came out, Were you able to catch her? Did she go into the toilet, or were you kind of
Yeah, a little. I kind of caught her by the head a little bit.
Caught her by the head? Okay. And so when you say a little, are you holding her head and like maybe feet or something, or hanging down into the toilet, or how?
I don't
Okay.
remember.
Well, and it's probably hard to remember exact details, and I'm just trying to visualize it, and there will be things that you can't specifically remember because it's traumatic and it's not your fault. You know,
I never
that you
heard
can't.
her.
I understand that. No one here thinks that you did, Skylar. We're not judging you where we think you are a scared 18-year-old, girl who, even though 18 is when you're an adult, it's, like I said, I've had kids a long time, so you're still a very young woman at 18 years old, and you're going through this alone because, had you told anyone yet? Okay, so.
I've never told anybody.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. So you're doing this all on your own. You've got no help. So it's going to be overwhelming. I mean, I wouldn't expect it any other way. So let's go back, and you're holding her, and maybe you should start hanging down. So what do you do next?
I put her in my arms, I try and hold her, and she's breathing. She doesn't have a heartbeat. She's not breathing.
How did you, I know the breathing part you can kind of tell and see. Did you ever hear a cry or a whimper? When you say she didn't have a heartbeat, did you try to check it?
I tried to feel. I hope I
tried to feel in her
hard.
chest.
I didn't mean to push hard. I just felt.
Okay. And were her eyes open or closed?
They were closed.
They were closed. Okay. Can you remember whether or not she still had the umbilical cord attached to her belly button?
I don't remember.
Can't remember. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Understand. So now you're holding her in her lap. Is that correct? Do you have a towel or anything, or is she just on your legs?
There was a towel. I had a towel, and I was bleeding so much.
Okay. Is she covered a little bit? Like, does she have kind of some blood and some mucus type looking stuff on her? Okay. As you're holding her, do you know, or could you feel or anything? Do you think you delivered your placenta after that, or?
Yeah, it came out. It came out the next day.
The next day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because yeah.
Okay. Did you? Okay, so her umbilical cord, did you cut that umbilical cord? Have something to cut that with?
No.
And the only reason I ask that is because that's where the baby is, hooked in her belly button, and then the cord is also hooked with the placenta, and usually they deliver together. But that's okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's okay. I know this is. We're trying to make you go back 2.5 months to the worst. I'm going to assume what's the worst memory, the worst memory of your whole life. Are you okay right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to know what's going to happen to me. I never meant to hurt her.
I understand that. Skylar, again, like I've told you, we don't think you meant to hurt her. We don't think you hurt her.
Am I going to be in trouble?
So, I don't know that you're in any trouble. We're just trying to help you get through this and try to find out exactly what happened. Okay, stay with me here. So now you're holding her, and she's on your lap in a towel, right? Try to feel for a heartbeat, but there's not one. Her eyes are closed, and you can tell she's not breathing. What do you do then?
I stayed there with her for a little bit. I tried to see if maybe she'd wake up, but I had to bury her, and I think am I going to be in trouble for that? I know it wasn't right.
For trying to see if she could
breathe, and then I had to bury her.
No, well, wait, let's not talk about that part yet. Let's just say, right, so you're just holding her, right? I guess, were you hoping she would start breathing?
Yeah, I hope she would start coming
Okay.
alive.
Or maybe start having a heartbeat? Okay. And do you work at the YMCA, right? Do you have to have any kind of training in, like, pediatric or infant, like CPR, first aid CPR stuff?
We're supposed to get our CPR. I'm supposed to take the class soon.
Okay, but you haven't had the class. Okay, so you're not already certified in. So you probably, you don't know how to do CPR on an infant. Is that correct or safe to say? Okay, I understand, and that's why I knew working at the Y probably at some point you would have to get that certification. You know, we have to do that just in case we come in that situation. So you're holding her now, and you're all by yourself. We know you're all by yourself. No one knows, and she's still not breathing. At some point, I guess maybe did you start to think or realize she's not going to make it? Probably because.
Yeah.
And why was it? Was it because she?
I don't know. I thought it was my fault because I should have called the doctors back in here. I should have told somebody, but I'm so scared.
I understand. And again, like you're all by yourself. No one is. You didn't even have like a best friend or anyone that knew, right?
No, I didn't tell anybody.
Confided in no one. Okay.
I should have told my mom.
Well, this is a hard thing to tell your mom. I mean, there's things that are hard to tell our parents when we're 18, but this is probably a big bombshell. So now, what do you do when you realize that she's not going to make it?
I have to bury her.
You have to bury her, but I mean, what did you first do? Did you wrap her? Did you cover her up in the towel? Did you hold her for a little while?
For a little bit.
Is this all still in the bathroom?
Yeah.
And this is at your house, I think you said earlier, right? Okay. So then it's okay. It is okay. I mean, like I said a lot, Kate, we're not judging you. We're not doing anything. I mean, I feel horrible for you. You're 18 years old. You're doing this by yourself. I've seen my oldest daughter when she was pregnant, the guy that was the dad who, I mean, it was determined later on for sure he wasn't that. He denied it the whole time. He was not there. I was the one in the delivery room with her. I mean, so other than me, you know, she was on her own, but still it wasn't the situation. At least she had me and you had no one. So I know what she went through, even with me being there to help her, and you were by yourself. So I can't even imagine how you've managed to make it, you know, and just carried this weight on your shoulders all by yourself. So, again, I'm so sorry that you've had to do that by yourself. And so now you've got her wrapped up in the towel, you've been holding her, and so you decide you have to bury her. Why do you decide you have to bury her?
I couldn't tell anybody.
Because you hadn't told anybody and you still didn't want to tell
Is
anybody?
that really bad?
It's not for us to say, Skylar, it's not for us to say it's really bad because we're not trying to judge you or do anything like that, okay?
Are you going to put me in jail because of that?
No, I'm not. That's not why I'm here today, to try to put you in jail. All we're trying to do is find out. We're still just trying to find out what happened, okay? And so you decided you needed to bear because obviously it's the proper thing to do. I mean, every person, even a baby at 34 weeks roughly, everyone deserves a burial, right?
She deserves better.
Yeah, I mean, she deserves, well, a lot of times people are in a situation where they may deserve better. You know, you deserve better than to be all by yourself on this, but, you know, we don't always get to have a say-so in what life hands us. So, so you decide you got to bear because it's the right thing to do, and it's the best thing. If you're not going to tell anybody, it's probably the best way to do right by her, right? I mean, and you want to do right by her?
Yeah.
Which that is very noble. I mean, I get that, and it says a lot about you because even going through that and how awful it is, you want to do the right thing, even though I'm sure your heart was probably torn out. Absolutely torn out, but yet you still want to do the right thing. So you decide you got to bury her. How did you even think about that? Did you know where you would bury her?
I just wanted to bury her in my backyard, so I put flowers on her.
Okay. Kleenex or anything?
No, it's okay.
Can she grab a Kleenex? Are you sure? Well, just let us anyhow. Yeah, we are, and I know I feel bad because I'm making you talk about like the worst parts of it now, and.
Do I get to go home still with
what's
my
that?
family? Do I still get to go?
We're going to talk to him. Yes, we're still trying to figure out exactly. So what happened?
I'm sorry.
So, Skylar, she's Kate, your Skylar. You don't have to apologize, okay? Like I said, I mean, I hope you believe me. I'm telling you the truth about my daughter and everything. So I've seen her go through this, so I know you're going through a horrible thing, and you've had to do it all by yourself. So you wanted to bury her in the backyard again and do flowers. So is that what you did? How did you take us through that? So what did you do? Did you bury her immediately?
I tried to, but soon after.
Okay, so what did you do with her when you got ready to go down and I guess maybe look for a shovel or whatever you'd need? Where did you put her?
I had her with me.
You had her with you in a towel? Okay. Did you end up burying her at your house? Okay. Was the shovel or whatever you used, was it at your house?
Yeah.
Okay. So just kind of help me, walk through this. So what did you do? I guess, is your bedroom upstairs or bathroom upstairs? Okay, so you had to walk downstairs?
I had to clean myself up a little.
Are you carrying her?
Yes.
Did you go into the garage, or do you have an outdoor shed where you have a shovel?
I have my garage.
Okay. What did you find, or what did you use?
I just got a shovel, and I just put a little hole in my backyard and put her in it.
Okay, I understand. What did you do? Did you have, and you didn't have any help, right? Okay. What did you do with her while you were digging the hole?
I set her down.
Was she outside with you? Were you worried that anybody was going to see?
Yeah, I should have told my mom. She could have helped me.
I understand, but I mean, what? Was it daytime?
No, it was the middle of the night.
Oh, it was the middle of the night?
Very, very early in the
okay.
morning, nighttime.
Did it wake you up like you felt like something was...
I didn't sleep that night.
Oh, you didn't sleep, okay. Could you already feel like something was going on with her?
I knew.
Okay. So this was the middle of the night. Were your parents home?
Yeah, they were asleep.
They were asleep.
They didn't hear me. They didn't hear me.
Did the dogs hear you or anything?
I left my dog upstairs.
Okay. So you take her with you. How far down do you think that you dug?
Not that deep.
I'm sorry?
Not that deep.
Not that
I
deep?
wasn't strong enough. I hurt really bad.
Well, and that's what one reason I asked that is because I know the ground can be pretty hard, and you're trying to do it by yourself. You're upset. It's horrible. You just had a shovel, right? And you didn't have a pick to help break stuff up or anything?
Too.
Oh, a little shovel?
I tried as much.
How far down would you, if you could even guess, do this? Would you say you dug this far, this far, this far? Maybe only that far?
I covered her though.
Was she? So you dig a hole. You dig a small hole. Did you place her in the hole? Okay. Was she still in the towel?
No, I took her out of the towel.
You took her out of the towel. Did you lay anything down there in the dirt, or was it just the dirt?
It's just her. I should have.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to figure out and try to picture. And then you covered her up with dirt, right? And then what did you do as far as, did you do anything else? And the only reason, I guess, were you worried that someone was going to notice that or see that? Or
yeah, I planned to eventually tell my parents.
Yeah. What part of your yard is it in?
If you're... the backyard, the very back of my...
Right, the backyard, but let's say, and I looked at your backyard a little bit, if I'm at your back deck, you're that door there, looking out into your yard, which, would it be off to the left, to the right, straight back?
Kind of straight back, just a little bit.
Is it all the way back there, where that tree line is, where the trees are?
Yeah.
And would you be able to show us exactly where it is?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let me in trouble for her.
Did you, well, wait, stay with me for just a second. Did you ever get a chance to plant flowers yet or anything?
I just found some, I put them on her.
You did?
I flowers, I put them on her.
You put them on there? Okay. Are they still there, or was that back when it happened?
Back when it happened.
That was back when it happened. Okay, and now then, have you been back there since?
Maybe once. It's hard.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm wondering, what does it look like now? Can you still see the spot where you dug?
Yeah, because I put a little vase by her. There was a little flower pot by her.
Okay. Obviously, there was so much going through your head and everything. And when you when you buried her, can you tell us about what did you do right after? Did you tell us about now going back in the house? Like, what do you do right after you bury her?
Cleaned up the blood.
Mm-hmm. Did you have anything to clean up?
I had a towel.
Yeah. What did you do with that towel?
Just threw it away.
You threw it away? Okay. Did you throw it away inside the house or in like the
No,
Rumpke bin out in the garage or
Yeah,
whatever?
I threw it away maybe like a couple of days later. I'm sorry.
Okay. Did you think about telling anyone at that time, or were you still pretty sure?
I was telling my mom. I should have told my mom.
You thought about it?
Yeah. I'm really sorry. It's almost over.
Okay. Well, it's okay. I mean, no one can judge, what you did at that time. We weren't going through what you went through at all, so I can't say you definitely should have told your mom, because I wasn't going through it. So, and we're not here to try to do that. You said, so this is in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah, maybe like
You
3.
said the next day you delivered your afterbirth. Would it have been later on that same calendar day, but later during the day? Can you remember?
Vitae came out with me. I don't even know what it was supposed to look like.
What the
I just came out something came out with the body, but there was just a lot.
Yeah. Well, and that was probably it, because it's a lot, and it kind of looks. I just won't really even describe it. It looks very unique, but once you see it, you know what it looks like. But so that came out. Have you gone to any other doctors after that, not including the appointment you went to 2 days ago? Did you go anywhere to get checked out or anything after you delivered her? And okay. Are you still doing okay? Okay.
Yeah, this can be over soon.
It will be. Let's talk about exactly what happened. Tell me the first thing when you say you didn't sleep that night that this happened. Leading up to it, you didn't sleep. Is there a reason why you weren't sleeping?
I was hurting.
It was always hurting, so you felt like something was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, did you maybe think you were going to have, or just there was so much pain you couldn't sleep, or you felt like?
Yeah, it was just a lot of pain.
Okay. Had you had any pain prior to that?
That day, yeah.
Like what kind of pain?
Just it hurt. It felt like cramps.
Okay, cramps. Were they piercing, sharp?
Yeah, and in my back.
And in your lower back. Okay. And now I've got some hard questions, still to ask you that we're obligated to ask, because we want to make sure, not just for your health going forward and stuff, but I know, because of that, and also because this wasn't something that you planned or expected or hoped for, we can't help but wonder, and need to talk to you about the possibility of, did you help yourself with an abortion, to help, you would never.
No, I swear.
I'm not saying that you did, but just follow me. The reason we've got to talk about this a little bit is because I know that this wasn't planned, it wasn't expected, and the medical staff, they were actually concerned when you left that day. You found out that you were going to get an abortion or try to, give yourself one, possibly just as a result of, because this wasn't, what you planned and expected or anything. But you're saying that there was nothing like that. Let me ask you this: Did you ever think about it?
I mean, I'll be honest. I thought about when they told me I was pregnant. I asked if I could not have it, if I could get an abortion, but I was too far along.
They said because you were too far along. Okay, which I understand that. My daughter thought about it. My daughter thought about it too. Did you do any research on it?
I kind of thought maybe if I could figure out if it wasn't if I wasn't actually, but no, I don't think. I can't honestly remember. I promise I didn't try and kill her.
Okay, that's what we're trying to figure out,
That's what this is about.
and I don't think I guess I'm not meaning to say, did you try to kill her? I'm just asking you if you, considered giving yourself an abortion, because that happens a lot.
Okay.
That people give themselves an abortion. Did you ever search anything on the internet about giving yourself an abortion or having an abortion?
No, I just kind of thought of maybe looking up ways to maybe see if I could not have it, but I never followed through with anything.
What kind of ways did you look at, or where did you?
Looked at maybe how to have an abortion without going to the doctor, but that was it. And I never did anything.
Okay. Did you, how did you look that up?
I just Googled it.
Googled it. On your phone or on a tablet or?
Maybe just my phone, I think. I don't know.
Okay. Do you have a tablet or a desktop computer at your house that you use?
Yeah, I have a couple. I have a Kindle, but I didn't look it up on my Kindle.
You didn't look it up on your Kindle?
No.
Okay. Probably your phone, right? I mean, most of us, everything we do is.
I didn't try and kill my baby.
So what did you find out when you looked up how to have an abortion?
Nothing that even sounded relevant. Really, nothing.
Okay. I mean, were there no sites that popped up as far as like helping yourself have an abortion?
It was just like ways.
And Skylar, the reason I'm asking you this is one thing we have to do is we're going to have your phone and we'll have to do what's called a forensic examination of your phone. And what that does is, it's almost kind of scary because how much we use our phones, but what that does is it will go back in our phone and it will bring everything up. Like, let's say my phone here, well, actually, I just remember I bought something from Home Depot. I bought a ceiling fan for a house I'm building about 6 months ago. When we go in and we do a forensic download of my phone, it will go back and it will show the date and time where I put ceiling fan Home Depot, and then it will show as I clicked, and it will literally show everything I looked at, the duration of how long I was on that page, and I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just wanting to make sure, that you're completely honest with us, because the phone it's going to show everything, so I need to know, because I feel like you've been really honest so far, but this is a big part right here, because if you say one thing and then your phone shows another, then that's when we would really have a big problem. And you've already been through so much, I don't want to have a big problem where we've got a big discrepancy.
No, I'm just trying to rack my brain. I don't.
Okay, well, take your time. If you need to, get a drink and just try to think, try to rack your brain about it, because this is really important. And because I know it's hard to say, because you already feel so bad, you feel so guilty. You say you felt like she deserves so much more, and I believe you. But also, there's part of me that knows you've already been through so much. You're going through this on your own, and you've got a healthy baby, at 32 weeks, and then on April 26th, and then on May 7th, suddenly you deliver her in the middle of the night. And I know, just based from my experience in doing this job since before you were born, there are a lot of times where people just get so overwhelmed, and it's too far along to get an abortion at a place, and they still feel like it's the better choice, because for everyone, kind of. And so I need to know, and I need you to think really hard about this moment right now, because it's okay if you're able to tell me, and you want to tell me the truth, that I assist her. Not that you tried to abort her or kill her, but you tried to assist your delivery so you could deliver at home.
I promise I didn't try to do anything like that. She just came out and I wasn't ready. I didn't want to.
Okay. What about, so let's go to your phone. When we look in there, how much research are we going to see about having or getting an abortion?
Probably not a lot. I really didn't think that much into it. I really don't know what I plan to do.
Okay. Well, and I'm just, again, Skylar, I wasn't there, so I don't know, and I know you're going through so much. There's so much, everything going through your mind when this happens. Is there going to be any sites or links or anything you visited or where you looked up where it said, you know, how to give yourself an abortion or how to do a self-abortion?
I don't think no, I don't think.
You don't think, or there's not?
I think the only thing I searched is how to not have a baby or how to get rid of a baby, but I never did any.
Okay, well, but see, how to get rid of a baby is kind of,
sounds really bad now. I'm
that's
sorry.
like how to, no, not that it sounds bad, but it's just a different terminology for, you know, how you can help yourself, you know, with an abortion, because that's technically what it is. You're not actually, you know, you're not getting rid of a baby. You didn't wish her any harm or anything, but it's trying to have an abortion, which is, you know, it is a legal thing to do.
It's illegal?
I said abortions are legal. Like people are allowed to have abortions, but
I wasn't going to. Nothing was how to do it, and I promise you I did
nothing
not
try.
Nothing was going to, I didn't try anything. I just kind of looked at it. I didn't want.
What did it say? What did you see? What kind of information did you see on there?
There was it gave you different pills or different things to do in different ways, but I never did any of the things.
You didn't take any of the pills?
No.
Was there, did you see any sites that showed you any physical things to do as far as ways you can put things inside yourself? And did you see anything like that?
Maybe. I don't remember, but I never did anything like that.
Okay.
I never tried to do anything like that.
Okay, and I'm just trying to see what you found in the research, because it's almost crazy on the internet. I mean, you can put, you know, something in, and you know how you'll pull up 100 pages of things that it is hit on during the search.
Did you get birth control pills when you went then to the doctor?
Yeah.
Did you take any of those?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to hurt.
Okay. How many of those did you take?
Just a little of them, just the days I was supposed to.
All at once?
No.
One per day?
Yeah.
Starting on April 26th?
The day they were prescribed.
Okay.
I didn't think that was going to hurt them.
Okay, all right. I'm just asking questions. Do you remember what kind of pills they were?
Just birth control pills.
You don't remember what kind? Is this the first time you went on birth control?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never meant to kill my baby. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't.
I understand. Now, when you threw away the towel that you used to clean yourself up, did you also throw away the towel that the baby had been wrapped in? Or was it the same towel, or was there two towels?
Yeah, I threw it away.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't understand that. I have to step out for just a second, okay?
Can I talk to my parents?
In just a minute, but I've got to step out just real quick and
I'm
make a phone call out.
Oh, honey, you just take a deep breath, okay? I'm going to stay in here with you, okay?
Please, just be honest. What's going to happen?
I don't know, okay? I'm in here observing.
Jail?
No. You're not going to jail today. No.
No, and I'm not going to.
Just relax, okay? Listen, just relax, okay?
I don't want to go to jail.
I know you don't. Just relax,
I don't have to go to jail, though, right?
Listen, I understand that you're sorry, and I understand that you're upset, and I understand that you didn't want this to happen, okay? Just take some deep breaths, okay? Everything's going to be okay.
I don't have to go to jail?
You're not going to jail. Okay, we're not taking you to jail today. You're not going to jail, okay? So just...
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Honey, I don't know. This isn't my case, okay? He's talking. He just wants to get some things straightened up so that we can figure out exactly what happened. Are you being 100% honest with him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just deep breaths, okay? I know this has to have been really hard on you. I'm sure there's part of you that is glad that the weight has been lifted off of you.
Yeah, I just want everybody to believe me because I don't want to be in trouble.
I understand. You're a very nice young lady. I know that you're smart. I know that you're honest. I know you have a big heart, okay? I believe that. I don't think you're a bad person, okay? Just like you said, we're not judging you. We just have to get facts, okay? So deep breath. Things are going to get better from here, okay?
Only better, right?
It's going to get better, okay? You're going to get, yes. Your parents are right out there, okay? You're just 18 now, and we talk to you alone. And I think it's probably better that you do talk to us alone. It'd probably be really uncomfortable for you to talk about a lot of this stuff.
I do need to tell them. I
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell them what happened.
They'll be okay though, right? They won't
They'll be okay. No,
They'll understand.
they're gonna love you no matter what, honey. You're their daughter, okay? Your mom and dad are gonna love you no matter what. That's their job. That's part of who they are, okay? So don't worry about that. Nobody hates you. We don't hate you, okay? Nobody's gonna hate you, okay? We understand that you went through some really bad stuff and it was really hard on you, okay? And now you got some people to turn to, okay? And you don't have to deal with this on your own, okay? So deep breath. Calm yourself down. I don't want you to get yourself super upset, okay?
I'm really afraid he's gonna arrest me.
He's not gonna arrest you, okay? That's not what we're here for today.
That's not?
We're not here to take you to jail today or put handcuffs on you today or anything like that, okay?
I don't have to stay overnight or?
No, you're not
He
gonna.
just wants to understand what
He wants to understand what happened, okay? We gotta figure out what happened, okay?
That's what happened. I know it was wrong.
Is there anything else that you didn't tell us, that maybe we didn't ask the right questions or anything? Anything else that you could think of?
So bad.
I know you do, honey. And I believe you when you say that. I know that you do, okay?
I just want to hold my mom. I want to see my parents.
I know. And you're going to get to see him here in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
He had to make a phone call to somebody else. I don't know. It's another. I think he's working on another case, too. So just deep breath. You got to go home today, okay?
I won't go to jail, right?
You're not going to jail today. I told you that. We're not taking you to jail today. You're going home to your parents, okay? You're going to see him here in just a few minutes. I wouldn't lie to you, okay? I'm telling you everything that I know, okay? Deep breath, okay? Calm yourself down. I'm sure this has been weighing on you for a couple months now, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I would never do anything to hurt her.
I understand. You didn't tell anybody? You haven't got to confide in anybody? How have you been dealing with this?
I deal with a lot of stuff for myself. That's just what I do. I just like to keep to myself.
You don't need to do that, okay? Even if we got to find somebody for you to talk to that's not your mom or dad or your friends, okay? It's hard being a teenager. Believe it or not, I was a teenager once. It's hard being a teenager, and it's hard dealing with all the regular teenager stuff and add things like this on top of it, and it's super hard. You never told the father?
I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to tell him.
Do you know who the father was? Yeah, okay. Calm down, okay?
Just ready for it to be over.
I know.
It will be over though, right?
It's going to be, yes, yeah, it's going to be over. We're going to get this taken care of, just to make sure we know everything that's going on, okay? Just calm down. You can be relieved that you don't have to keep this inside anymore, okay? And that you can work towards healing from this, okay?
The hard part's over, right?
Yeah, I think that this is probably going to be the hardest part right here. And I appreciate the fact that you were honest and you talked to us, and, okay? So deep breath, calm yourself down.
What else do you think he's going to ask you when he comes back?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. He may not ask you anything else. I'm not sure, okay? Are you cold?
No, I'm just ready to go home.
I understand. Yes, yeah, honey, it's going to get better. You're going to have a support system now because there's going to be other people that know about this other than just you, okay? And you need that. You're going to need a support system. You needed a support system long before now. You know, it's too hard to deal with things like that on your own.
Not because I'm going to jail, right?
No, your parents, honey. Your parents are going to be your support system.
Okay.
Yeah, you can talk to your parents about it, and your mom can help you through this, okay? Because you're only 18. I know that you're an adult now, but you're still 18, okay? So you'll be able to talk to your mom about this, and she'll be able to help you through this. Moms are good at that kind of stuff, okay? I mean, obviously, they're going to be surprised. You know, they're not expecting this. They don't know anything about this, right?
No.
Yeah, they're going to be surprised. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'm sure they're going to be upset that you didn't come to them and tell them. But they're going to love you no matter what, and they're going to help you from here on out, okay?
Yeah. Yes, they're good parents. They will help me.
You have a good relationship with your mom?
Pretty good.
Yeah? What about your dad?
He's very supportive. We don't know that much. We're not as close as me and my mom.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have to go to court?
Honey, we're not even to that right now, okay? We're not even thinking about that right now, okay?
Because I didn't hurt her. I didn't want to hurt her.
I understand.
Okay.
Do you need anything else?
No, just want to go home.
I understand. I understand. Sit tight for just a second. I've got to go check with him and see what's going on, and I'll be right back, okay?
Is there something bad?
No. Not at all. No. Just relax, okay? Just sit still. Relax. Calm down, okay? Just me, Skylar. You need anything?
No, do I get to go soon?
Yeah, here shortly. He's just finishing up a few things right now, and then we're gonna have your parents come in, okay?
Okay, do I get to talk to them?
Yeah, honey, yeah.
And then we get to go.
Well, they know already.
Okay. Are they really mad?
I think they're kind of surprised right now. They're kind of in shock, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they're not happy.
Oh, I know.
You know, but they're worried about you too.
But I get to go home after this.
Yeah.
No jail.
You'll get to leave with them, okay?
So I'll probably have to come back eventually.
I don't even know that. I can't say anything to that. I have no idea. I'm not sure. I'm not going to give you answers that I don't know the answers to, okay?
But everything will be okay, right?
Everything's going to be okay.
I didn't hurt her.
I understand that. I understand. Just deep breath, okay? We're going to get your mom and dad in here as soon as possible. He's working on something right now. He's got to talk on the phone about something. I don't even know what. And then he's going to come in and chat with you for a few more minutes and just make sure that there's nothing else that, you know, he needs to ask you or that you thought of, and then we'll get your parents in here, okay?
Talk to the parents and then go home.
Then, yeah, you can live with your parents. What do you do at the Y?
I work in child watch.
What's that? Is that like daycare? Do you work there every day, or?
Just a couple days a week, not too often.
Yeah. Did you think that this was what we were going to be talking to you about?
Yeah, and I didn't want to be in trouble because that's not what I meant. I never meant to. I didn't want her to kill her. I did not ever.
I understand. I'm sure it was probably pretty scary when your dad got a hold of you.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's also, like I said, a relief now that this is out there and can be dealt with now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Where's your cell phone?
I gave it to my dad. It's in his truck.
Okay.
I gave it over. I don't have anything to hide.
No, I believe you. I understand.
Everything will be okay.
Everything's going to be okay, honey.
This part's over.
Yeah.
Do you think they might think that I killed her?
I don't think that anybody thinks that, okay?
I would never.
I don't think anybody thinks that, okay?
Okay.
You do need to at some point go and get checked out by a doctor, though, okay? To make sure that everything's okay with you. We want to make sure that you're okay, okay?
So we're just go home.
I know you are.
Life will be okay. It'll go back to normal, right?
Yes, honey, yeah. Your life is going to be okay. You're a very bright young lady. You're very smart, okay? So you're going to be okay.
I still get to go to school in the fall.
Yeah.
They're not going to penalize me.
No, we're not calling your school. This has nothing to do with your school. We don't have anything to do with that, okay? Everything's going to be okay. All right. This is a chapter of your life that we need to get completed and get past so you can get to the next chapter, okay?
Bad things happen.
Absolutely they do. Yep. Now you're going to have to get through this and then you can move on, okay? It's just something that's happened in your life and you're going to have to move past it, okay? And you're on that road now. You're on the road towards moving past it and healing from it and moving on to the next chapter.
You're not sugarcoating it, are you?
No, I wouldn't sugarcoat it. I'm sure you've heard through the high school that I tell you the truth, no matter whether you like it or not. I'm nice, but I'll tell you the truth, and if I gotta be mean, I'll be mean. So I'm not afraid to be mean. I'm not sugarcoating anything, okay? You just need to take some deep breaths and calm yourself down, okay? And deal with what's going on right now, okay? And not get yourself so stressed out about all the other stuff, okay? Let's get you healed up, make sure that physically you're okay, all right? And let you start emotionally dealing with, because you've not really dealt with what happened at all. You've not been able to because you've not had anybody to turn to, okay? So now's the time that you can make sure physically that you're okay and emotionally you start towards that road of healing, okay? That's what I want you to concentrate on right now, okay? Is emotionally getting through this and dealing with it and not having to push it down anymore, okay?
Thank you.
and you probably need to look at getting maybe a counselor to go talk to and stuff, because there's a lot of things that you're going to want to talk about that you're not going to want to talk to your mom about, or your best friend about, or your dad about, okay?
Yeah, do you think that I will be able to talk to my mom and she'll listen? She won't be that mad?
You're going to be able to talk to her. I just saw her outside. You know, they asked me how you are and stuff, and they're not happy.
Yeah.
I mean, but they love you. I think their number one thing is they're worried about you over all else. They're mad, but mad's down here, and worried about you because they love you so much is up here, okay? Mm-hmm. I think that's their main emotion right now, is that they're worried about you. They're sad for you. They want to make sure that you're okay. They're protective of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think I'm going to need a lawyer?
I don't know that answer. I can't tell you that, okay? I'm not sure. I'm not there yet. This is going to be handled by John that was here. I was in here just to kind of help out and try to make you feel a little bit more comfortable, since you know me and, you know, you've seen my face before, you're familiar with me, and sometimes it's easier when there's a woman in the room, you know, if you're a girl, so. Just relax, okay? Things will get better from here.
Only better because I didn't do anything.
Only better from here. And we can, and if I'm sure your mom can help you, but if you don't want to go to your mom, you can come to me. I'll help you find somebody to talk to if you need somebody to talk to, okay? A counselor or something. And they can help you learn how to process all those emotions and stuff, okay?
He'll come back soon.
Yeah, I think he might be using the bathroom right now.
And he'll just tell me everything that's going on.
Yeah, he may have a couple more questions. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can't read his mind. I wish I could. My job would be a lot easier if I could read people's minds, right? So, yeah, he's taking care of some other stuff. I gotta take this phone call, okay? It's about something else. Sit tight,
Not
okay?
so, right?
You're fine. Hold on, stay. Hello. Hey, how are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, now that I'm a grandpa, I have a greater appreciation for the need to get up and move around every once in a while. So we're not going to take an off-the-record break, but we are going to take a brief pause so that you can stand up, stretch out, move around if you want to. You don't have to. Don't read ahead in your transcript while we are on this little, what I will call a TV timeout. But if you want to get up and move around, that's fine. Please.